Tired of your garden looking just okay next spring? What if I told you that a few strategic purchases this fall could transform your outdoor space into a showstopper? In this video, I'm revealing my secret weapon. A fall bulb haul designed to create big impact with minimal spending. To be honest, I got tired of buying each fall all the bulbs that catch my eyes in the shop with no planting scheme and spending way too much money. And come spring, I got tired of having all my bulbs bloom at the same time, leaving me with no more flowers for weeks in a row until my next bloom wave. And so I came up with a simple trick to prevent these misfortunes. Every fall, I do a census of all my bulbs in pots or in the ground wherever they are in our tiny cottage garden before I go buy more bulbs. And I start by gathering all my pots in one place. For example, I had completely forgotten about these bulbs under the walnut tree. Black walnut leaves are toxic for other plants, and that's why I remove them from any pots. And look, these pots are full of grape hyacinths or muscari, which have leafed out. Haha! Another muscari pot, which is full of leaves. I can appreciate their enthusiasm. And now that I gathered all my pots in one spot, what have we got here and when do they bloom? In here we've got, wow, tete-a-tete daffodils, 7-inch tall, and they are the first to bloom in early spring. Bella Estrella daffodils, wow, these were by far my favorites this year, and they bloom mid-spring. Allium bulgaricum. None of these bulbs bloomed in my garden, but I want to try them again. Giuseppe Verdi botanical tulips. Rather small but super cute. And they come back reliably each year in early spring. Copper image double tulips. Wow, I love them. Super beautiful, and they bloom mid-spring. Sempreavanti daffodils, also a mid-spring bloomer, but not all my bulbs sprouted this year. Cheerfulness narcissus, most fragrant, most delicate, a mid-season bloomer. Also, I've got a ton of tall yellow daffodils which bloom in early spring. And I threw away all my late blooming tulip bulbs because they were ruined during a 7-day snowfall in mid April this year. Hi, I'm Michaela and I garden in Zone 6 in Romania, where I'm renting a tiny cottage and the garden. And now that I know perfectly well what I've got in the garden, I just went shopping for more fall bulbs. Kaufmanniana tulip the first, a short tulip, but, as the name suggests, the first one to bloom in early spring, and she's got a big chance to come back each spring. And I chose this coral color to go with my Japanese queens and to make the first sweet posy of the year. Fosteriana tulip mix, very early bloomer, great chances to perennialize, and I want to plant them in front of our tiny cottage where I haven't got any bulbs at all. Orange Emperor tulips, echoing the color of copper image tulips, but late blooming in May. Because I had a gap, I was left with no May bulbs at all. And she should come back year after year. And Queen of the Night tulips, also late blooming in May, the perfect companion for Orange Emperor. However, there's a very slim chance that she'll come back year after year. Hyacinth City of Harlem, super peachy colored. The perfect companion for my hyacinths I've already got in the garden, in the most adorable blush pink. Replete narcissus. I've been craving them for 2 years already, both for her sweet fragrance, but also for making a great cut flower for spring bouquets. Sir Winston Churchill, the most fragrant daffodil that I know of. Allium Purple Sensation. You can never have too many of these, especially if you like using them in floral arrangements like I do. Allium Bulgaricum or Nectaroscordium. This time I bought them from a different supplier, hoping that they will bloom for me this year. And I also bought a summer flowering bulb. She blooms in July, Triteleia Queen Fabiola. I already have some in a pot, but I planted them too shallow and I'm afraid that they will not come back next year. So this year I spent only a quarter of what I was normally spending on bulbs in previous years. I made some smart choices. Early tulips which come back each year in new colors, perennial bulbs for new garden areas where there were no bulbs at all, late tulips to bloom in May, a month for which I had nothing in the garden, fragrant daffodils that I had wanted for a very long time, blooms that I need more of for my bouquets, some bulbs which never sprouted for me, and some that I'm afraid of losing this winter. For now, I'm storing all my bulbs in my cool, dark basement. And I will plant them in November, because only then I will free up my pots. And now, if I started your creative juices with so much talk of daffodils and tulips and hyacinths, click here to see my best tulips from this year that I grew in our tiny cottage garden in pots.